Nobody in this atmosphere can hide from the truth about how much this game matters. The scene overflows with colour and passion. David Villa, Jim, a little gem amongst strikers.
Yeah, and I think there are probably two things that set him apart, Peter. First, the ability to mould himself into any formation the team wants, often ploughing a lonely furrow up front. And second, having such a hugely impressive goal-scoring record, despite often being burdened with having to take free kicks and corners.
Put it all together, and you've got one of the finest strikers of his generation.
Exactly.
Well, that's beautifully weighted. Schneider. Mbappe, played out to the left flank. Oh, now here's an interesting matchup. Hernandez. Hernandez is sporting a guilty look after that.
Clearly is miffed, having made the run and not get picked out.
And it's Maradona. Well, that was a period of possession which carried just about no threat at all. Cristiano Ronaldo. So a third of the match, or thereabouts, gone, and we still await the first goal. Hullet. No, he's had it taken off him. Neither of these two want to come off second best. Rodri. Bellingham. Kimmich. Oh, he's seen that early. Used a certain sixth sense. And here's Hullet. Fiddles it through. Now it's Maradona. Mohamed Salah. Courtois can pick that up. 30 minutes gone. Madrid trying to orchestrate a breakaway here by the looks of it.
Well, I would say that this is probably the easiest way to play the game, because you try and absorb in numbers defensively, and then you look to hit it with a long ball quickly on the counter-attack to get your men in behind the opposition defence.
Just looking for that one telling pass. Van Dijk. Kimmich. And that's been intercepted.
That was well played, well stopped.
Well, a goal here just before half-time could mean a great deal. Hernandez. Mohamed Salah. Costa Curta is there, and he can get that clear. João Cancelo. And he's had it nicked away. That's the throw. Cristiano Ronaldo. And that'll be the last act of the first half. Well, there it is, half-time. Not a bad watch by any means. And the efforts of both sides have been good, but neither have been able to penetrate. And so we reach the break, and the game remains goalless. How would you review the first half?
Well, this has proved a very frustrating day so far, especially for the strikers. Nothing has been created for them. I think the service has been extremely poor.
So we are still where we were at the beginning. It is 0-0 at the break. So we're straight back at it at the start of the second half.
Well, I suppose from a defensive perspective, Peter, neither manager can be too unhappy. I just wonder which team is going to up the ante first.
Van Dijk. Bellingham. They get a throw in. David Villa. That's a nicely measured pass. Big chance, hits one! They want to be quick to recover this. And he was there to get a vital touch.
Cristiano Ronaldo clearly thought he had the beating of the keeper. Well, look, they know they've got a height advantage, and it's time for them to use it.
That's a decent clearance. And now they can spring out of defence. That's a sharp pass.
Oh, that's such a good run. More of that, please.
Madrid are looking to go forward now. And he's intervened well there. Well, it looked promising for a moment, but it came to nothing. Hernandez. Madrid appear to be happy to let their front players stay up front all the time.
Well, it's signalling to the opposition that they're setting themselves up for the counter-attack. It's plain and simple.
And it's Beckham. David Villa. And Beckham! He has done it! There is the breakthrough!
That looks like a preconceived plan. Win the ball and then unleash.
So we have our breakthrough.
Well, when the going gets tough, etc., they can still turn this round, I think.
So, Jim, what are you thinking?
Well, considering they're only one down, they're closer to conceding a second than scoring a leveller.
Oh, this looks sharp. Now it's Cristiano Ronaldo. Well, it didn't look good for a while, but that was brave defending, and they got away with it.
Yeah, they showed a vulnerability until the move was stifled. That'll have stirred a little concern.
And that's really well manoeuvred. And they win it back again. No surprise at all that this is the guy who's had such a positive impact.
Well, not only can a player of such high caliber show the imagination to set up a goal, but he can also produce when the pressure's on to deliver a big moment. This guy was born to create. Keep calm and carry on. That's the job in a nutshell now. Are certainly playing with an intense focus in executing their plan here.
Into the last 5 minutes.
I think it's time for them to concentrate on closing this one out.
Son Heung-min. But that is good defending. It's been repelled. There will be a throw-in. And he's cleared it out of harm's way. And time is up. Quite a game, and one that was always on a knife edge until the very final whistle. No shortage of endeavour, effort, at times effervescence, but... Well, they say football's only a game, but you should try telling this lot. Without a doubt, it is the week's most eagerly awaited contest, a sporting event which has magnificent scenery as its backdrop. It is tribal, and it has aroused the most primal of instincts in so many of us, and we are glad to have you alongside us for it. Well, the pre-match build-up has been fantastic. Now, the game itself. We have already started here. Expertly cut out, really nicely done.
You can never be short of runners into space, as long as the space left behind is filled.
No, he wasn't going to be fooled.
Robert Pires is another outstanding attacking midfield talent, one of the finest of his generation.
Yeah, and pretty prolific for a wide player, actually. Gets his fair share of goals.
Yeah, he has a poetry in motion grace about his game and can truly conjure up some magical footwork.
Fernando Torres. Kimmich promptly onto that, and that is that.
Yeah, I've had a quick review of what we've seen so far, and I can confirm we're in a shot-free zone.
Messi. And he's intervened well there. Maradona. Hernandez. Oh, that's neat. Oh, now here's an interesting matchup. Oh, he's enjoyed that. He evidently loves the contest. And he's managed to get free. Bit of a communication breakdown there, it seems.
Well, I'm not quite sure he needed to hold up play quite as much as he did then. A couple of his teammates were very annoyed.
And that interception was most necessary.
He read that really well and stopped it.
Bellingham. Oh, that's a little loose. And it's been given away. Messi. Messi! Mohamed Salah. Messi. Pedri. And here's Torres. Well, a goal here just before half-time could mean a great deal. That is good pressure, just hounded him off it. And that is as far as they're going to go. Kimmich. He can run onto that. Well, they've got it again. Bellingham. This is promising. And that's really well manoeuvred. And the whistle goes for half-time. Well, there it is, half-time. Not a bad watch by any means. And the efforts of both sides have been good, but neither have been able to penetrate. And so we reach the break, and the game remains goalless. Any strong opinions on the first half?
Well, this has proved a very frustrating day so far, especially for the strikers. Nothing has been created for them. I think the service has been extremely poor.
An intriguing half, only in goals. The score 0-0. And we are back underway. 0-0, and we're at the halfway point. And here's Torres, played out towards the right wing. He's picked his way through. Kvaratskhelia, he rises! It's there!
Dependability is one thing, and he brings that to his game. But that sort of dynamism is another attribute he's blessed with, and it's revealed on a regular basis too. Superb. That looks like a preconceived plan. Win the ball and then unleash.
So we have the first goal.
Listen, when it comes to goals, Peter...
In with a header! Oh, taken with style! They're level in a trice!
Well, if ever you want to see a lesson in responding to a deficit, that's it. Their heads didn't drop, and now their chins are up.
What a super header, dispatched beautifully.
Yeah, he makes those runs with great stealth and a ghost-like arrival to get his head to the ball.
And that has added a whole new complexion to the game.
Well, I think the players will be buoyed by the fact that they've managed to level things in a hurry. Tails most definitely up now. Well, Peter, just see here how a lot of the attacking players aren't dropping back anymore.
And that means just one thing, I suppose.
Yeah, they just simply want to engage the counter-attack.
They want to be quick to recover this. Nicely spread. Pull it. He's found some space. And pull it! Neymar. Oh, that is asking for trouble. He's shifting through the gears here. Oh, that's well spotted. Pull it. And it's Maradona.
Might want to be careful there. Don't you just love the level of intensity here? Neither is prepared to back down, and to be honest, that's how it should be.
Marquinhos. Some front-footed pressing going on here. Cafu concedes a free kick for that. And that's put paid to a promising move. For a moment you felt that was going somewhere, but they'll have to go again. Maradona. Terrific header! And he looked every bit the assured keeper there.
Yeah, he was well placed to deal with that.
And no, that was never going to make it. Pinches it off him. Mohamed Salah! Can he finish? Oh, what about that? And that has raised the roof. Well, little question that this is the box office game at this level today. Thank you for joining us. You've made a very good choice. There's so much resting on the game. It should be a cracker. And nobody in this atmosphere can hide from the truth about how much this game matters. The scene overflows with colour and passion. Well, as you can see, we've already started here. No, that's been intercepted. Now it's Mbappe. Pass is just off target. Jim, which player is best equipped for this game?
This guy, Declan Rice, is a player I really rate. With him, you get exactly what it says on the box. A workhorse defensive midfielder who likes to stay in the deeper part of midfield, knowing his primary job is to make sure he shuts down any build-up play in that area.
Yeah, I'd have picked him too. No doubt the fans feel much the same way. The ball has bounced loose now. Rodri belts one. Gave it a go, but off target.
No, it's a fair attempt. I think he felt he could line one up there. The odds were never really in his favour.
No goals as yet. Oh, that's well spotted. And that pass is somewhat less than ideal.
Quality deserted them when they really needed it.
Oh, that's fabulous. Rodri. He's in plenty of space here. Thuram. Oh, important interception. Kimmich. And it's Schneider. And that has been cut short. Well, the run has been sold a little bit short there.
Look, the game is full of ifs and buts. If only the pass could have completed its journey.
And he's managed to get free. Mohamed Salah. Schneider. Kimmich wins the duel this time. Well, that was a period of possession which carried just about no threat at all. Oh, and he's through the middle. Mbappe finds himself offside.
We're seeing some really good pressure being applied here, Peter, particularly from those guys up front.
Yeah, and it just, I suppose, Jim, denies the others time and space.
Well, I would call it blanket suffocation. Every single player is committed to the press, and there's simply no way out.
He's got away. There's a beautiful simplicity about this contest. Willing running on one side, dogged defence on the other. Neymar, he's shifting through the gears here. Neuer deals with it effortlessly. Pass somewhat off target. And there is the half-time whistle. Well, there it is, half-time. Not a bad watch by any means. And the efforts of both sides have been good, but neither have been able to penetrate. And so we reach the break, and the game remains goalless. What have we learned from the first 45 minutes?
Yeah, the scoreline doesn't tell the whole story, as one side has been significantly better, at least offensively.
So we reach the halfway point, and neither side have yet been able to force the issue. It's 0-0. So off we go once more.
Well, both sides are eager to get going. Here's hoping that it's a good sign. Things are about to change. We need a little more life in this.
Kimmich. And it's De Bruyne. Well, the idea was a good one. The execution of it, not quite so.
Well, that's down to a simple miscalculation. No more, no less.
Oh, what has happened here? Neymar is flagged offside. Belletti. Oh, it's a nice idea, but the execution was lacking. And he's had a hit! Denied by an instinctive save.
Well, someone's doing his job properly, Peter, that's for sure.
And we have our very first corner. Neymar goes short. Backward it goes. Chance! It's anyone's ball now. So, Jim, is that the manager telling the forwards that they must stay forward for now?
Well, I think he just is concentrating on the shape here, and he wants them to press as high as they can and get in the right position to do that collectively.
It's a sweet ball, that. Excellent challenge there, uncompromising. Well, it didn't look good for a while, but that was brave defending, and they got away with it.
Well, that tackle was immense, and so was the relief. The great escape.
Rice. It's a good run down the left-hand side. Oh, played right into his path. He has found the way through. He's got the shot away! They want to be quick to recover this. A deeply frustrating game so far. Certainly in terms of the scoreline, it remains 0-0. Marquinhos. And Hernandez. Neymar. Neymar will not want to lose out here, not against this opponent.
Well, yet another interception and a show of anticipation to be commended.
Neither of these two want to come off second best. And they're back on the ball again. Now then, the ball's come loose.
Don't you just love the level of intensity here? Neither is prepared.
Oh no, this does not look good. Oh, he's burst through.
Really has the confidence and skill to be able to hold the ball up like that until support arrives a little sooner, and just maybe there he overdid it slightly and should have released it because the support was arriving quickly.
Oh, he's going to be disappointed with that. Rice. And that's really well manoeuvred. Schneider. Oh, great chance.
You wonder if that's it now, but there may be one more opportunity, Peter, for a late steal here.
He's found a way through. So that's it. It is all over. Frustration, exasperation, vexation, certainly from an attacking perspective. Neither side able to make... Well, last day drama, always a grand part of the game, of course, but by anybody's standards, this has to be one of the biggest days. Put straightforwardly, avoid defeat, and they are up. That is the single point for which many inside this ground and right the way around the world would happily snap off your hand. It really is quite a sight to behold this. It feels like a big game, it looks like a big game. Mind you, they all do at this ground. The action has already started. And Messi! That has ended up in no man's land. Maradona. And they're quick to get it back. Kimmich.
Peter, I think there's a good chance that opposition strikers today will have their work cut out with Vitor Baia, simply because he's been a high achiever all through his career, and that winning mentality remains very, very strong.
Yeah, the judge keepers by absence of mistakes, and he makes very few. Eto! And the keeper has reacted superbly there.
There's a certain aura about him today, tremendous.
And we have our very first corner. Can he finish? They've scored!
Perhaps deserves a little bit of sympathy here, because that's a goalkeeper's nightmare. It's clear that the keeper was unsighted by his defence, and by the time he picked up the flight of that, it was too late.
So the first moment of real significance.
Yeah, and just as the manager's been reminding his players, this is the time where they can't afford to let their focus slip.
I think that's offside. Yes, it is. Van Dijk.
Well, I wouldn't quite advise they should resort to risk-taking at this stage. There's plenty of time left yet.
Now it's Hullet. Hullet and Hullet! Adams is there to clear. That was a good run. The defence looked beaten there. And that's been intercepted.
That was well played, well stopped. You can never be short of runners into space, as long as the space left behind is filled.
Oh, easy pickings there. Messi shapes to shoot! Bellingham gets it away, and he's had a hit! And that is wildly off target.
Look, it was achievable, Peter, but it needed his best. Yeah, this kind of bold running will always get you into areas of possibility.
Marquinhos defending his corner stubbornly, stood up very well to his man. Foden has found the net here, of course. Adams. Foden. And that's a throw-in. Intercepts the throw, that's well read. And here's Barcola.
That's good play from him.
Rodri. And Mohamed Salah. And there's the end of the first half. Well, a very decent watch up to now, but just the one goal so far. It has been competitive and combative throughout.
Well, for me, Peter, things have never really got going, but at least this will be a good time to reflect and regroup. I can see a few changes coming. because whatever they've been doing, it just hasn't gelled.
And if you have just joined us, well, we've just begun the second period here.
It's not easy being down in situations like this. I know it's an overused term, but you really have to play with courage. Be brave.
He's gone for goal. Casemiro. Hernandez calmly anticipates. And it's Messi. Rodri. Well seen. Saw that coming.
He read that really well and stopped it.
Bellingham. Here's Rodri. That is a great pick out. And the shot!
That's just playing it safe and simple.
And here's Mohamed Salah. Played back in. Shade too heavy. Keeper can pick that up. Alexander-Arnold. Pass somewhat off target. Oh, they could be caught out here. Hernandez. So, Jim, what are you thinking?
Well, the time has arrived to start taking risks. They may well be happy just to level this.
That is good alertness. Barcola. That's a sharp pass. Maradona. Well, that's beautifully weighted. Hullet gets into some space. Final ball not quite right, and his teammates are irritated at that. Goes looking wide.
There's nothing more infuriating for a fan than seeing passing without penetration. They're just stuck in a rut. Well, there's plenty to like about this approach. Get your head down, keep battling away, and eventually things might change for you.
Couple of changes then in quick succession.
Well, for me, this was the obvious substitution. He'd become just a little jaded, and as a result of that, he was most likely to make a mistake. I think sometimes when the body becomes tired, the brain goes with it, and I think that's happened in this case.
And it's Messi. 5 minutes left on the clock. Oh, that's wonderful alertness.
I think it's time for them to concentrate on closing this one out.
Neymar in acres of space out wide. That's tidy. And that's another good win of the ball. And that is that. Quite a game, and one that was always on a knife edge until the very final whistle. No shortage of endeavour.